Life has a strange way of testing us when we least expect it. Sometimes, our passions lead us into places where the line between imagination and reality blurs. This is the story of Emily Carter, a 27-year-old wildlife photographer from Colorado. Emily wasn't just passionate about photography, she was obsessed. She loved the hidden beauty of forests, the quiet rhythm of rivers, and the sudden thrill of spotting a creature no one else might ever see. Her camera wasn't just a tool. To her, it was a magic wand, freezing fleeting moments into timeless memories. On a chilly autumn afternoon, Emily decided to venture into the Roosevelt National Forest. She had heard about a rare woodpecker that had been spotted there, a bird so elusive that few photographers had ever captured it on film. Armed with her camera, hiking boots, and a heart full of excitement, Emily ventured deeper and deeper into the woods. The trees grew taller, the air colder, and the forest floor muffled every step she took. She was so focused on chasing the sound of wings that she didn't notice how far she had gone. By the time she looked up, the sun had dipped low. The once friendly forest now seemed different, shadows lengthened, the wind howled through the branches, and the familiar trail was nowhere to be seen. She was lost. As Emily tried to retrace her steps, gray clouds rolled across the sky. Within minutes, a heavy downpour crashed down. The rain was so relentless that it felt as if the heavens had opened. Her clothes were drenched, her camera bag heavy with water. Her teeth chattered as the cold seeped into her bones. Every corner of the forest now felt hostile. Branches cracked like warning signs, the mud tugged at her boots, and the chill gnawed at her strength. Just when despair began to grip her heart, she spotted something in the distance, a faint outline of a cabin. It looked abandoned, its wooden walls sagging under years of neglect. But at that moment, it was salvation. Emily sprinted toward it, splashing through puddles, and pushed the creaky door open. The cabin was dark and empty. Cobwebs draped across the corners, a rotting cot leaned against one wall, and an old wooden table stood at the center. On the table sat a dusty, antique-looking bottle. Emily dropped her bag on the floor and wrapped her arms around herself, shivering violently. The wind whistled through the cracks in the cabin's walls. She needed warmth, shelter, something, anything, to get through the night. Her eyes fell back on the bottle. Something about it seemed strange. It wasn't like a wine bottle or a whiskey jug. It looked older, hand-carved with swirling patterns, almost glowing faintly under the dim light. Against her better judgment, curiosity won. Emily reached out and touched it. The bottle vibrated in her hands. Before she could react, the cork shot open with a sharp pop, and a thick, swirling smoke poured out. The smoke curled upward, twisting, forming into a massive figure with glowing eyes. Emily staggered back, heart pounding. It was a genie. The figure towered above her, broad shoulders, a booming voice, yet eyes that held something almost human. "Do not fear," the genie said, his voice echoing as though it came from the walls themselves. "I am Azarian, of the Forgotten Spirits. For centuries, I have been trapped inside that vessel, waiting for the one who would release me." Emily's breath caught in her throat. This can't be real. I'm hallucinating. The genie chuckled. "You are not. And because you have freed me, I must grant you 2 wishes. But there's a rule you must know. After your 2 wishes, you must fulfill my wish. If you do not, the consequences will fall upon you." Emily frowned. "What consequences?" "Your life will end within a day." The words struck her like thunder. 1,000 questions raced through her mind. But the icy cold gnawed at her first, reminding her of her immediate danger. "I want warmth," she whispered. "Please. I'm freezing." Azarian raised his hand. Instantly, a fire roared to life in the stone fireplace at the corner of the cabin. Flames danced, casting golden light across the walls. Heat rushed into the room, wrapping Emily like a blanket. She let out a breath of relief, dropping to her knees before the fire, drying her soaked clothes, feeling her strength return. Her first wish was complete. As the fire crackled, Emily's thoughts wandered to the one person she missed most in the world, her mother. Her mother had passed away nearly a decade ago, leaving a hole in Emily's heart that never truly healed. In her loneliest moments, she longed just to speak with her again, to hear her voice, to feel her embrace. Her voice trembled as she spoke, "For my second wish. I want to see my mom. Just once. Please." The genie's eyes glowed. He clapped his hands, and the air shimmered. Slowly, a familiar figure appeared before Emily. It was her mother. Emily's eyes flooded with tears. She leaped forward, hugging her tightly, burying her face into the warmth she thought she had lost forever. "Mom, I missed you so much." Her mother smiled, brushing a hand through Emily's damp hair. "Oh, sweetheart. I've been with you all along." For what felt like hours, they talked, laughed, and even cried together. Emily poured out the pain she had carried, and her mother listened with gentle patience. But just as suddenly, the genie's voice cut through the tender moment. "Your time is nearly over." Emily whipped around. "What do you mean? I didn't ask for time limits." The genie shook his head. "Every gift has its rules. You asked for reunion, not for forever. Half an hour is all that can be granted." Emily clung to her mother, unwilling to let go, but within moments, her mother's form began to fade, her final words lingering in the air, "Stay strong, my love." And then she was gone. Emily sobbed quietly by the fire, but in her heart, she felt a strange peace. She had seen her again. She had felt her again. That was more than she ever thought possible. 2 wishes had been granted. The fire crackled. Silence pressed in. Then the genie stepped forward, his eyes glowing with intensity. "Now it is time," he said. "My wish must be fulfilled." Emily swallowed hard. "What is it?" The genie's voice dropped. "I wish for freedom." Emily blinked. "But you're already free. You're not in the bottle anymore." The genie shook his head. "No. I am bound by chains older than your world. The bottle is only one prison. My true freedom requires something greater." Emily's pulse quickened. "And what do you need from me?" The genie leaned closer. "Every spirit of my kind is freed only when a human chooses to break the final bond. It requires courage, selflessness, and faith." "What bond?" she whispered. Azarian's eyes softened. "You must carry my bottle to the highest peak in this forest, the summit where sky meets earth. There, at sunrise, you must shatter it against the rocks. Only then will I be free." Emily exhaled. Relief flooded her. At least it wasn't something unthinkable. But then came the warning. If you fail, if the sun rises and the bottle remains unbroken, the curse will fall on you. Your life will end within a day. Her heart pounded. The summit was miles away. She was cold, exhausted, and alone in a forest she didn't know. But she had no choice. "Fine," she said. "I'll do it." The storm passed by midnight, leaving the forest drenched and silent. With the bottle strapped into her pack, Emily set out into the dark. The climb was brutal. Slippery rocks, howling winds, branches whipping across her face. Her legs burned, her lungs ached. More than once, she thought of giving up. But then she remembered her mother's final words, "Stay strong." Through the night she pushed forward, stumbling, crawling, even praying. Hours passed. Her body screamed for rest, but her spirit refused to yield. At last, as the sky turned pale gray, she reached the summit. The view stole her breath, the world stretched out endlessly, bathed in the faint glow of dawn. The bottle pulsed in her pack, as if sensing its fate. Emily raised it high. "This is for both of us," she whispered. And with all her strength, she hurled it against the jagged rocks. The bottle shattered into 1,000 glittering shards. A blinding light exploded, washing over the mountaintop. Emily shielded her eyes as Azarian's form appeared one last time, glowing brighter than the sun. "Thank you, Emily Carter," he thundered. "You have done what no one else dared. For your courage, you are spared from the curse. And for your compassion, you will never be alone again." With that, the genie dissolved into light, vanishing into the morning sky. Emily stood there, wind whipping through her hair, heart pounding. She was alive. She was free. And for the first time in years, she felt whole. When she finally made her way down the mountain, her camera still hung around her neck. She raised it and snapped a picture of the rising sun. That photograph would become her most famous work, a symbol of hope, courage, and the mysterious journey she had survived. And though no one would ever believe the full story, Emily carried it with her forever. Because some stories are not just meant to be told. They are meant to be lived.